I think this season finale multiplayer could have given us free try max rank cars to make the grind a bit easier. Because given the Raging Bull season missions are a thing of the past, it wouldn't matter if you gave us the free try cars. And it's annoying that the Cyan packs ended sort of yesterday or the day before, because I would have 4-starred my Cyan just to play this, to be honest. And we've got a season mission to win 3 races in a C-class car. And I've just got 2 C-class cars that are really low ranking. If I wait long enough before starting, maybe I can get that season mission done, but I couldn't just wait till next week for another multiplayer. I have to at least play this because there's blueprints to grab for the Cyan and other cars I haven't got maxed. So I think the only car I've got maxed in that lot is the SC18, despite not having a key for the SC18. So this is a 30,000 point multiplayer in 1 week. I'm not really bothered about the epics. So the epics are again for all these cars. Yeah, I'm not really bothered about them. So my goal is 15,000, but 15,000 is still very hard, and there's an 8,000 gap between 7 and 15. So this is sort of the first primary goal to get to 7,100. I'm actually going to try a car. I'm actually going to try a race in my 2-star Mura just to see if I can get a top 3 in it at the beginning. I think we've got to do 5 multiplayer races in a C-class car and get top 3. And at the moment, I'm in Legend League in multiplayer 1 with 22,000 milestone points. I'd have to lose a lot of races to go back to C-class cars. Oh, I'm going to get top 3. I might just let it drive itself round. I can't really be bothered to press any buttons. I'm just going to think for a second because it's 6 a.m. I got up about 4 after having a really spectacularly beautiful dream. Like I was browsing a antique shop. If anyone's ever been to Chiswick, there's a place called the Old Cinema. It's like a collection of different antiques dealers' shops. And I know I just moaned about England, that there are loads of things I'll miss about England, but I can't afford to ruin my life and go and live in my home again. And I don't want to move home in England and stay in England and risk being in exactly the same situation somewhere else that I didn't anticipate. Like, I'll miss my neighbours, I'll miss the community, I'll miss my park, I'll miss having access to some brilliant things, but they're just not worth it. My dreams are worth so much more than material objects or museums or parks, you know. In my dream last night, I saw so many cool things that related to design. So like this little tray that someone had made and carved little grooves out of it to use for paint mixing, and it's like no one else designed that. I just designed that in my dream. And I'm going through this shop seeing all these things that I want, like little ashtrays and bits of furniture, and it was amazing. And just to think, I haven't really dreamt for 2.5 years because of the disruption at my home, which is never going to stop because it's amplifying every day. They just keep creating work for work's sake. The council can't control their contractors. The contractors believe they should do anything they want, and the contractors want to do more work so that their company makes... The managers of the contractors want them to do more work so they can invoice the council for larger amounts, and then you can just imagine the situation that when you work in business, you become friendly with the other companies you work with and you want to help them out for mutual benefit. And that's what's happening in England, that work is being created for work's sake and at the expense of the lives of residents. And I live in an area, and in a building where they consider that the contractors have this, because they're simple-minded fools, think that everyone inside is somehow on benefits. It's like, I'm not on benefits. I pay my way. I pay a lot more tax than you, but they think I don't have a single right or right to a voice because they think I'm on benefits. And they think I'm living in a free home given to me by the council. It's not free. It cost me more than £500,000, and it's worth a lot more than that. Let's see if I can get another 3-player race and trigger off these season missions. Some guy said, come to Nigeria, and lots of people are trying C-class guys said, come to Nigeria and see what paradise you have. I'd like to see him try and live in my home. I bet in Nigeria has more dreams than I do in my home. Or maybe he's simple-minded and never had a dream in his life. Let's hope people wreck. Not me, though. Oh, if he spins, I'm a bit buggered. I'm at very high risk now. There. I didn't know where he's coming from. And I can't be bothered with these C-class races now. I'll wait a week to do the C-class races. I want to grind some milestone points in this. And this Mura at 2 stars is just unpleasant. It was such a good car in A8. It was a brilliant C. I can't remember the classes, but it was a brilliant car in A8. Oh! I wanted to hit him. Is it top 5? No, I've got to get top 3. Right, let's use a gas tank of the Cian and get to 300 milestone points. Or what other cars have I got? I've got a 4-star SC20 that I need to upgrade a bit. Or I've got my 3-star Cian. Yeah. The numbers look low for the people that, like, the numbers don't look very big for how many people have started season finale multiplayer. That's a really nice decal on that Mura. And I hate decals. Don't go too fast at this bit. Watch out for being knocked sideways. And then the chance of being KD'd on this landing here, if you haven't got nitro, is normally very high. I should have spun them. I'm just taking it easy. Will we meet? Oh! Damn, he was on shockwave. We're gonna meet. Oh! Right, next race. I wanted to spin when I was interacting with that other guy because I'd left an opportunity out a moment earlier. When British people come to Cyprus with British passports, they come through the airport and the immigration officials stamp their passport. They put an entry stamp on saying the date that they arrived. They then put another stamp saying you have been granted a visa to stay 90 days. And when I was a child, when I was like 5 years old and I came to Cyprus with my whole family, it was funny because my mother got given that 90-day stamp, but me, my brother, sister, and father didn't. They just said, "This is your entry stamp." There was no, "You need to leave in 90 days," because they just looked at my father, knew he was from Cyprus, and we were his children, so they gave us permanent access. Now that I'm older and I've still got a British passport, I didn't know this was still what they do here. And when I came through the airport, I got a stamp in my passport, and it's quite exciting to get a stamp in your passport post Brexit, because in Europe we don't normally stamp passports, or we haven't stamped passports in Europe. And now Britain's not in Europe, we're getting our passport stamped again, which is sort of a novel thing about travelling. And I just got an entry stamp, and I thought they must not do this visa thing anymore. But when I was chatting to some more British people on the island, I meant to go left there because I was just smashed into the wall. When I was talking to some more British people in the island, they say you still get this stamp. And so what happened in 1 second of me walking into Cyprus, when I went to the immigration desk and I gave them my passport, they just looked at my name, my surname's Constantine, and they look at my face and see I'm slightly brown, and look at my nose, and in 1 second they just decide, he's Cypriot, you can stay forever. And when the people told me they've all got this stamp in their passport saying they have to leave in 90 days, and I realised that Cyprus have let me in without that stamp, and they're basically saying welcome home. It's one of the nicest things anyone's ever done, any state has ever done for me. It's like, what, you mean I'm welcome here, you know? After being abused all my life, beaten all my childhood, raided by the police, stopped and searched every other day because I'm not quite white enough for those British people. It's really significant. Oh, I should have used a C class. And then when I met my cousins, I haven't, two of my cousins, Fannis and Stephanie, I haven't seen them for 35 years. And it was like they were just, it was just so much fun to see them. Like they were like, they are my family, and they felt more like my family than my brother and sister, who are just, they're just people. They don't answer the phone to me. They're always too busy. It's like, I'm busier than you. You know, you don't have time unless you make time. I have time for everyone. I make time for everyone. I make time for my community. I've got to get online and change my flight. I've got to push it back. I could just skip it, but I should at least, I've got the ability to change it sort of free of charge. I should just keep pushing it back as long as I can go. My boss has said I can stay here forever and work from Cyprus. My family want to see me. They want me to come out with them. Family in England don't want that. I've got to go to the passport office and try and get a Cypriot passport. I think then if I get a Cypriot passport and I never spend more than 60 days in the UK, I don't think I have to pay income tax anymore in the UK. So I'd have like another salary on top of my salary. And it's a good way to say screw you to England, which is get paid in England but not pay tax there legally. It's not tax evasion, it's tax avoidance, legal tax avoidance. Well, it's not even tax avoidance, it's just the tax rules. If you don't live there and you're not resident there, you don't really have to pay their taxes. oh, I'm gonna hit. Oh, I'm not gonna hit that car because he got it out of the way. I should have drifted a bit earlier. I might be late for the shotgun. It's all right. I'm still too scared to sell my house in England. But, oh, I didn't see him coming. That's happened to me before. I should have learned, like, not to deactivate the shockwave coming out of that tunnel. I seem to always want to deactivate the shockwave there and go to blue nitro. But if someone's behind like that, you're bit of trouble. That guy's indestructible. Oh, that's not fair. That guy was indestructible. That knockdown set me back there. The first one. Let's make up for it next race. I think I've got to upgrade my... Oh, I don't have the key for the SC18. I've got to upgrade... My SC18's maxed as well. This is the only time that I get frustrated not having the key, when it's one of a few cars in multiplayer. Because, yeah, look, I've got it at 6 stars. But no, I haven't got it gold. I haven't got all the epics for it, but I've got it at 6 stars. But no key. Hopefully one day the key will come along. You know, when that rumour went, well, not rumour, when that information got spread that Gameloft had said on their Discord channel that there's a surprise at the end of the season, there was one small part of me that thought they're removing keys. They'll give everyone all the keys as the 4th anniversary present. Because keys could be temporary until the cars are older, and then, oh, it no longer needs a key now. But no, their surprise was they're going to give us the opportunity to spend even more money on an even shorter season. I'm glad I've got fibre now in Cyprus, because it was a bit hard playing on the last Wi-Fi. We were just playing on, like, I was just using the free apartment complex Wi-Fi, which is only really meant for people to use the internet by the pool. And my dad doesn't, like, he downloads torrents, I think, and does Zoom calls a lot, but he hadn't realised how slow his internet was. The game just didn't work at all on that Wi-Fi. I couldn't upload videos, and more like take like 2 hours to upload a video. When I played multiplayer, just nothing worked. I do wish I'd made my Cyan 4-star. Well, I say that. It would be nice to have a 4-star Cyan just to do this multiplayer, but I don't want to spend tokens making my Cyan 4 stars when I'm not really going to use it in general multiplayer, unless it's 6 stars, and I'm not going to spend to get it to 6 stars, because you don't know what's coming ever and what you might need your tokens for. One day they might bring the Formula car in like they did in A8, and that was a brilliant car that you'd want to spend on. The sun's come up, I can walk down to the beach, lie in the sea, float in the water. It's so salty you can float in it and just fall asleep. Perfectly still, there's no current pulling you away. You fall asleep, you'll wake up in the same spot. It's beautiful. I've not heard a reversing klaxon for 13 days since being in the UK. where they're just constant and for no reason, and all from like 90% of them are all from council vehicles. Reversing klaxons were designed for use in building sites because when you've got loads of vehicles in a building site, you need an alarm if one's suddenly going backwards. You don't need them on standard streets. Those vehicles, if anyone can't hear oh sorry, I meant to do a 360 there and then go into that jump and shockwave. But if anyone's not able to hear the truck coming, then they're deaf and they're not going to hear the reversing klaxon either. And when people drive with reversing klaxons on, it's not for safety, it's for liability. So it's so they can blame you if they hit you. And what it's done to driving standards is the person driving the truck has this sort of, they look less, so they drive faster and more dangerously because they believe everyone's getting out their way because the reversing klaxon's there. So it's the complete opposite of safety. It's actually dangerous. But these naive, simple-minded people just think, I have to have it for safety, but it's not for safety, it's your liability for your insurance. The stupid driver doesn't know why it's on the truck. That's why he's a bin man. And they're angry every day because they have to get up early and smell crap all day. And I don't even know why they don't wear a mask, just to avoid smelling all the crap all day long that they pick up. I also don't know how no bin man in Hammersmith and Fulham really got COVID. They never took, it was the same ones coming every day throughout COVID, never wearing a mask. It just sort of proved that COVID wasn't really spread that easily in the way that people said. It's just like any other flu. Like, it was so funny when they're talking, everyone's debating how sticky it is. It's like, God, I got taught at 5 years old that the flu was sticky. It was like, don't touch handrails on a train. People wipe their nose and touch them and then you get a cold or flu. Like, who didn't know that? Who needed to be taught how to wash their hands? And all those people, these people that actually like changed their behaviour. Like, well, they were all filthy. So I don't want to swear too much, but they were all filthy people anyway. They did need teaching a little, but I didn't want anyone to teach them. I wanted them to all get sick. Because that's what the virus was designed for. That's what the planet designed the virus for, to get rid of those people and save the Earth. But instead, all of them make a combined effort to kill the one thing that's here to save the planet. COVID's got more place on this Earth than most humans. We're overpopulated, we're filthy, and we deserve everything that's coming. Every time you stop a disease, a worse one will come later. Now the Earth's got to redesign its plans. It's like, oh, COVID didn't quite work, we'll have to make another one to protect itself. Alright, that was a bit messy. It's like connection stuff. I'm waiting because it's too early to KD. Oh, he's fidgety behind. He's just gone off the track trying to ram me off the track. I'm not in my Cian anymore, that's why it feels different. I couldn't even remember that I was just spending that time upgrading the car. It's not spinning as well, it's that physics thing where it just decides it doesn't want to barrel roll. I'm 25 minutes in now. Let's try one more race with that car. Kato. The 2-star Countach isn't of much use. How can I get the SC18 Key again? I would like it. Oh, and is it the track with the barrel ramp at the start that 5 to 10% of the time the jump just doesn't go high enough, and then you end up, yeah, it is. Safest way, just drift really early, get to shockwave for the ramp, and then you never, if you shockwave off that ramp, you never hit the top of that tunnel and enter the void as such. Need more nitro. Car's not, I don't like this car. Not at these stars. This is going to be a grind. I think 7,000 is going to be my get round the wall. That was close. I had to put the spin in because I needed the nitro, but the spin runs the risk of, with some cars that haven't got the handling capabilities, of hitting that junction. Yes. Yes. Well, I've got poor connection now. But I don't. Right, I'm going to have a shower and go to the beach. Yeah, it shows me as black now. I'll record each of the blueprints I open as I go through this multiplayer. Good luck, guys. I'm madder than you.